Leo, welcome to August 2018. I can't believe we're already in August. Oh my gosh, this summer is moving, well, sometimes I think it's moving fast, but then other times I think it's moving slow. So I guess it's just going at the normal pace, I guess. So just forget what I just said there. Okay, Leo, I'm shuffling your cards right now. We're gonna pull 4 cards for the month of August. How have you guys been doing with July? We have Mars retrograde, we have Chiron retrograde, we have Neptune retrograde, and then Mercury is going retrograde on July 26th. And we've had these eclipses coming through. We had one on, I believe it was July 12th, and we're gonna have one the day after Mercury retrograde on the 26th of July. So July 27th, there's gonna be another eclipse, solar lunar eclipse. And then there's a third one in August, I believe it is August 17th. I should have looked that up before I started this video, but I'm pretty sure it's August 17th. So very intense energy, like I want to say unpredictable energy. So as I'm going through this reading, you know, you may find that there's still a sense of unpredictability with, like, during the first 2 weeks of August, and then, you know, after that we'll see what happens. But just very intense times, and with Mars being retrograde and Mercury being retrograde together in the first half of August, in the first half of August, there's going to be headbutting, there's going to be a desire to, like, there's a frustration to not be able to clearly communicate what you're feeling. So there may be arguments. I think there's going to be some really heated arguments with the tension of Mars, you know, Mars being the god of war. That anger energy, that intense energy is building up as we're in this retrograde. It's like a very, very intense, like, tension going on, and then with and like this inability to really, like, let it all out, like, in a healthy way. So it's kind of like spurts of aggression being given out left and right, just to, like, it's like leaking out, I guess you could say. And then Mercury retrograde coming in, you know, with this tension that we're already dealing with, and then this inability to verbalize how we're feeling now, and, like, in an accurate way that makes sense for you and makes sense for other people. It's going to be a frustrating time, to say the least. So just make sure you're breathing. Just try to go with the flow. This is the message for everyone. This is not just for Leos. This is everyone. Everyone is experiencing these energies. So everyone is going through this frustration just like you. So, you know, understanding that and then having compassion for everyone else, because we're all dealing with that shit right now. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty interesting. So, there's our first card. Yeah, so the key the first week of the month is to keep your center, like with what I was just saying, keeping your center and not allowing yourself to go to the extremes of needing to be heard, you know, needing to voice your opinion, you know, shouting louder than others, like in one extreme, letting that anger and frustration out at other people, versus, you know, clamming up, shutting down, you know, pushing people away, distancing yourself, you know, getting into this lazy mode. Do you know what I mean? Like, so trying to avoid the extremes in the beginning of August is key. So also understanding that realizing for yourself that you do not know as much as you think that you know. You have had experiences, you have learned lessons, but you still have much to learn. So staying out of your ego-ness, there's this potential with the energy, astrologically speaking, there's this potential to want to be right, you know what I mean? Be right, be dominating, be the one in charge, be the leader, you know, pushing to get your way, you know, thinking that you know the best way and nobody else does. And Page of Swords is just kind of telling you, like, you have learned a lot, you do have some of the answers, but you don't have all of the answers. You know, understanding that you still have much to learn. There's many experiences that you have not gone through yet. Like when I see this card, Page of Swords, he's kind of like a teen or preteen or something like that. So like you're at this age, like thinking of like, what is the mentality of like a preteen or, you know, or a teenager? They think that they know everything, you know? They think that they know better than anybody else. There's like this cockiness to them, this pubescent frustration, you know what I mean? So that's kind of the mentality that's going on with the second week of August, where we think that we know everything. You know, we don't want to hear what the elders have to say. Like, they don't know what they're talking about. Like, I know this, that, and the other, even though you haven't really had enough time on this earth for all those experiences to gain the wisdom that the elders have gone through and have learned through their course of life. Do you know what I mean? So it's like knocking you down a peg, you know, get off your high horse. You don't know as much as you think you do. You know, be willing to listen, to stop and listen to what others have to offer or advise you on, rather than thinking that you know the best way and you're moving forward regardless of what anybody else says. Do you know what I mean? So just being cautious of that. That's the first 2 weeks of August, and that's going to be a very intense time, and I'm very nervous about this energy, because I've been planning this bachelorette party for a friend of mine with 7 or 6 other bridesmaids. 5 other bridesmaids. There's another maid of honor. I'm a maid of honor. And there's just, the drama is starting to occur. And I know that the Mars retrograde is kind of like triggering things left and right and making bigger deals out of nothing. And Mercury is going to be retrograde the weekend of the bachelorette, but Mars will be going direct that weekend. So it's going to be very interesting to say the least as we get closer to that time. So I'm kind of like, all right, let me just back away. You guys do what you gotta do. Like, I've put in the effort that I could offer to you, and now I'm leaving the rest to you guys, because I'm not trying to deal with this drama. You know what I mean? So there, like, think about that kind of drama, like bachelorette kind of drama going on, you know, bickering, like gossip, talking behind people's backs, and like all this negative bullshit where you're like, this doesn't matter. In the grand scheme of things, this doesn't really matter. So like, I think that's kind of what the energy is going to be in the first 2 weeks of August. So just keeping that in mind, and just being like, all right, I'm just gonna take a beat. I'm gonna step away from this before I react to something. So I'm going to like walk away from something, think about it, think about how you want to approach your reaction to what's going on, and then give your reaction. You know, giving yourself time to really process the emotions that you're going through with this Mars retrograde, instead of immediately reacting. So we have the Strength card, which is like the Leo card. Well, there's other ones, but this card always makes me think of Leo, probably because of the lion, but it's a Strength card. So as we get towards the middle of the month, we're learning to we're understanding what matters most to us as we go through this month. And then by this point, it's like I understand what is important to me, and I know, you know, what matters, what doesn't matter, and what I'm going to put my energy towards and stand my ground with. Like, I'm not going to just, you know, all right, let me take a beat and let me back away. You do whatever you want, you know, for all of my life. Like I was saying with the first 2 weeks, which is recommended for the first 2 weeks. But after that point, it's like, okay, I've had this time to step away, and I'm looking at this situation, you know, with a clearer mind and calmer emotions, and I can see what is actually important. And from this perspective, from this place of strength, I'm going to step forward and stand my ground, and be the confident leader that I know that I am. And when I say leader, like, it doesn't really have to be like I'm in charge of this whole group, you know, but like the leader of your life, you know, the leader of your own life. So I understand what is important to me as I move forward in my life, and I'm going to stand my ground and be confident in who I am, and my worth, and, you know, my contribution to the world around me. And I'm going to live my life the way that I see fit, and, you know, this is who I am. You know, this is who I am. I'm putting this out into the world, and I'm being the strongest, most vibrant and confident version of myself that I can possibly be. And whatever you have to say in regards to that isn't going to tear me down. So that's the kind of energy that we're going to have as we get past the middle of the month, which I think Mars goes direct around then, August. It's either Mars goes direct August 17th, or the next eclipse is the 17th. I'll have to look that up. I'm going to put that in the link below. I should have looked that up before I started doing this, but this is more, I should be doing tarot reading more than astrology, but I've been becoming more interested in astrology. It's been something that I have been into for most of my life. And, you know, since like 2010, I've been like researching here and there a little bit deeper, and now I'm like, okay, I want to go even deeper now. So I'm studying with Rick Levine through his Patreon website, which anyone can do. So I highly recommend, if you're really into astrology, I strongly recommend checking out Rick Levine. He has a Patreon now, and you can pay monthly to learn from him. And he's been doing tarot for like the last 40 years or so. He's very articulate in the way that he explains things, and I appreciate what he does. So Anyone that's into astrology, I strongly recommend you check them out. Anyway, that was just my own little, that wasn't an advertisement for him. That was just, I recommend him. Yeah, and then towards the end of the month, there's this letting go, and it's kind of like what I was talking about with the Strength card, and you know, everything all together. You know, this is the Eight of Wands in reverse. It's like, you know, trying to handle too many things on your own, and now we're realizing what is actually important, what really actually needs our attention, and letting all the other things drop, and clearing that out of the way, so that we can work on what is going to bring us closer to our goals. Like, what is going to bring us closer to where we want to be in life. You know, dealing with the bullshit of planning a bachelorette is not bringing me closer to where I want to be in life. It's just a distraction that's keeping me from focusing on areas of my life that need more attention. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, okay, this is temporary. This is really not that important anymore. Like, there's 7 other girls that are in this thing. They can handle it. I'm letting it go. Done. Let that go. Let me focus on like trying to have a baby, or you know, getting our house together because we moved here in May and we still need furniture. You know what I mean? Like trying to get a new routine with my new job, like making sure that, you know, focusing on the person that's in front of me rather than people that are states away and dealing with bullshit bachelorette drama. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, what is really important to you moving forward? And I feel like that is a big part of these eclipses coming up. It's like there's so much emotion and tension and stuff bubbling up because it's stuff that we just like we don't want to deal with at the time that it's occurring, so we like put it on the back burner in our mind, and now it's like all these things are coming to the forefront and bubbling up and coming out, and we have to face it, we have to deal with it, we have to learn from it, like that with these eclipses, and then we have to let go. Why hold on to it anymore? Like, why hold on to the grudges of the past? Why hold on to this and that and the other? You know what I mean? Like, why aren't you dealing with it and letting it go and moving on? Like, now's the time to do it. Let it go. I mean, full moons are all about, you know, what needs to be released, you know, what needs to be let go, you know, through each cycle. And the July 27th full moon is a lunar eclipse, and that is like, okay, like, not the little bullshit things like, oh, I gotta let go of, you know, eating cake, I need to stop eating cake and start eating healthier and stuff like that. It's like, no, we're not letting go of like stupid little bullshit like that. We're letting go of like huge things, like toxic relationships, toxic friendships, you know, a job that makes us miserable, or a living situation that's unhealthy, you know, like huge things, huge traumas that we're not addressing. We're just pretending it's not there and like continuing on with our lives. That is more detrimental to our growth in the long run. Like, those big things, they need to be dealt with now. They need to be released. And that's what all of these eclipses are all about. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Okay? And just enjoy, you know, and enjoy your life again. Like, Leos are all about just having fun. Like, I want to have fun. I want to go out and be in the sun. I want to, you know, just chill. Like, I want to be out in the spotlight. I want people to see me and I'm gonna be awesome and stuff like that. But then at the same time, I just want to lay back and I just want to chill. At the same time, I don't want the drama. I just want happiness, and I want people to chill and enjoy the summer. You know, it's like full summer vibes, you know? So, you know, in order for you to really fully embrace this time of year, you gotta let go of the shit that is pulling you away from the joy, pulling you away from your joy. You know, letting go of things that don't need your attention, that don't need your energy. You know, there's probably certain things in your life that you're trying to control that other people can handle, and you can let it go. So that's what's going on in August. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Don't be going to the extremes of things, like don't go into full rages, and don't go into like hiding out from the world at the same time. You know, understanding that you still have a lot to learn, like you don't know more than anybody else, like knocking down your ego a peg. You know, either you're going to be put in a situation where somebody, you know, knocks down your ego, or you need to allow yourself to step away from your ego and understand that you don't know as much as you think you do, and stop trying to dominate, stop trying to be in charge, be a leader in areas that, you know, other people can contribute, you know. And then from there, understanding what matters most to you in life, what doesn't really need your effort, energy, or attention, letting that shit go, standing your ground in areas that you are passionate about and in your life, you know, in society, things like that. Not letting other people sway you, not backing away from situations that you feel strongly about, but only after you have given yourself time to really process everything that's going on. Not doing, you know, not immediately standing your ground after being, you know, challenged with something, giving yourself time to release the emotions tied to it, process it, breathe with it, and then come back and stand your ground. Do you know what I mean? So I hope that this all makes sense. Whew. I am like channeling like crazy right now. So this is a time of letting go, you know, living your life to the fullest, you know, keeping your center and staying in your strength. Okay, Leo, you can do this. Let me know what you think of this reading in the comments below. And I hope that you enjoyed this reading. I will see you in September. Oh my gosh. Have a great summer. Happy birthday, Leo. Take care.